made the largest mistake of my life. I watched my whole family and everything that I created in my foundation crumble to the ground. My 23-year-old daughter, Rebecca Whitby, I contacted 911 on behalf because I was afraid, as well as my wife, that she was going to get in her car and drive while a little intoxicated. I contacted 911, asked for a mediator. They sent out 2 police officers, which we had a nice conversation about what was going on. They asked me where was she. I told them that she was upstairs while I was holding my grandson. They then knocked on the door. My wife then answered in the bathroom where they were both at. They turned around and immediately told my wife and my daughter to step out of the restroom, that they were going to arrest my daughter. We went into shock after hearing this. Arrest her for what? They turned around as they exited the bathroom, my wife in a house gown and my daughter. They looked at each other. One police officer put up his forearm and then ran into my daughter like she was a football player, along with his partner. They then commenced beating her, hitting her in the face, hitting her in the ribs, kneeing her in the back. They had her in a crucifix position. They were on both sides of her. They were on both sides of her. They turned around and then picked her up and slammed her again on her chin and her stomach. One officer with his knee in her back, another officer like with his knee on the other side of her. They had her face mashed into the carpet. They then handcuffed her. The officer actually hit her again after they picked her up. One officer grabbed her by the neck. She received 2 marks around her neck from him choking her. They then drug her down the stairs. They used my front door and her head as a battering ram to throw her out on the porch where we allegedly then seen, where we seen 7 more police cars. It was 15 officers out there at this time, all of them Caucasian. They were calling her all kinds of niggers. They were calling her all kinds of stuff. They then turned around, stood her up. One officer came and picked her up and slammed her again. One officer had his foot in the door where me and my wife could not come out. Then they drug her to the police cruiser where I witnessed one officer tasing her.
Mm.
Yes.
And in the process of this, they were arresting my wife, saying that she obstructed justice against them. Arrested her. Put her in the cruiser, in a house gown, barefooted.
Tell them who witnessed it.
We had neighbors that actually witnessed all of this on the outside of the home. And the sad thing about it is that I've never had problems with police officers. We've raised our children to do the right thing. My wife or my daughter either have any type of police record. Now they're faced with allegations from these officers saying that they committed all kinds of charges against them. My daughter was brutally beaten up. She had marks and scars and swollen all over her. She's not accustomed to a lifestyle like this. She's in her 3rd year of college. And the sad thing about it is that we're trying to reach her, and I can't, because I feel totally responsible for this. But yet and still, I did nothing.
It was not your fault.
I did nothing. Now they're faced with all kinds of charges where they can actually be jailed. And we're trying to fight back on this behalf. And this is my daughter here.